If you are at that stage of life where you look in the mirror and realize the cosmetic treatments that worked for you 10 or 15 years ago no longer have the same effect, you are in the right place. If you have already spent significant time and money searching for facial rejuvenation without lasting success, or worse, if you feel that some interventions have actually made your face look heavier or more tired, you are about to understand precisely why. What I am going to share with you today are the 5 fundamental mistakes, the most costly and frustrating missteps made by many individuals, particularly those over the age of 50, when they seek facial rejuvenation. This is not just a simple list of tips. It is a complete deconstruction of rejuvenation myths, based on deep clinical observation and profound anatomical understanding. By grasping the logic behind these errors, you will not only save money, you will give yourself the opportunity to establish a clear, effective plan that will lead you toward the only goal that truly matters, looking as young as you feel in the most natural and harmonious way possible. It is vital to recognize that the beauty industry is flooded with options. Every office, every clinic, every influencer proposes a different solution: injectables, lasers, energy devices, surgery. How do you decide what is right for you? The truth is, there is one logical path forward, one approach that respects the biological reality of aging, and I am prepared to share that truth with you, even if it contradicts much of what you hear or read elsewhere. Why the rules change after 50. Before we dive into the mistakes, let's take a moment to understand why the 50s represent a crucial turning point that renders earlier strategies obsolete. Aging is not a linear process. It is continuous, of course, but it is marked by periods of acceleration. During your 30s and early 40s, the changes are subtle. Typically, you see a slight volume loss, the famous missing volume that makes initial dermal filler injections so successful. At this stage, the underlying structural support of the face usually remains firm and well maintained. The bones are solid and the ligaments retain their tension. Then, the major turning point arrives, often tied to the significant hormonal shift of perimenopause and menopause. The hormonal impact and structural failure experts concur that the significant drop in estrogen levels has a devastating effect on the entire facial complex. It's not just collagen that is affected. Studies demonstrate an accelerated loss of collagen density and elastin, translating into deeper fine lines, thinner skin texture, and a duller complexion. However, the most critical change is structural. Bony resorption. Aging involves bone resorption in the face. The orbital structure widens, which gives the eye a hollowed-out appearance and exacerbates the look of dark circles. The jawline and maxilla also begin to recede. Imagine a camping tent. If the poles supporting it, your bones, shrink, the canvas, your skin and soft tissues, becomes too large for the frame, and it inevitably sags. The SMS system, the superficial musculo-aponeurotic system, or SMS, is the layer of fascia located just beneath the skin and fat. It is the true supportive pillar of the face, acting like a tight girdle that holds everything up. Due to gravity and the structural weakening linked to hormonal changes, this SMS, once taut, begins to slide downward. This is where the diagnosis fundamentally shifts. Before 50, the problem was often volume. After 50, the fundamental problem is laxity, that is, sagging, the downward sliding of tissues. This difference is essential because a laxity problem can only be solved by correcting it structurally, by lifting it back up. Mistake 1. Excessive or inappropriate Botox use. Botox, or botulinum toxin, is an invaluable tool in the fight against dynamic wrinkles. Its principle is simple. It relaxes the muscles responsible for the movements that form these wrinkles, thus softening forehead lines, frown lines, the 11s, and lines around the eyes, crow's feet. However, after 50, routine or standard use can have the opposite effect to what is desired, for 2 major anatomical reasons. The forehead compensation error. With age, brow descent and excess skin on the upper eyelid, known as dermatochalasis, become established. These changes give the eyes a heavy appearance. Naturally, The frontalis muscle, the only muscle capable of pulling the eyebrow up, works harder to compensate for this descent. It elevates the brows to clear the field of vision and alleviate the heavy sensation on the lids. The trap. When too much Botox is injected into the frontalis muscle, this compensatory function is neutralized. The muscle relaxes, and the brow, already in a low position, descends further. The eyes become heavy, and you immediately look more tired or even sad. Clinical experience shows that the doses used at 35 years old should not be the same at 55. Forehead doses must be drastically reduced or even eliminated to preserve this natural lifting capacity. The under-eye sagging error. Similarly, injection in the crow's feet area, which targets the orbicularis oculi muscle, must be performed with extreme caution. In a younger person, relaxing this muscle smooths lines. But if you already have marked laxity in the lower eyelid, or if you are beginning to develop under-eye fat pockets, the orbicularis muscle maintains a certain tone to hold the tissues and fat in place. The undesirable result? By relaxing this muscle too forcefully, its supportive function is removed. The loose tissues and fat pockets no longer have the same containment and tend to protrude or droop slightly more. Under-eye bags can thus appear more prominent right after the treatment. The observation of many clinical cases clearly indicates that if lower eyelid laxity exists, Botox in the crow's feet must be maximally limited to avoid exacerbating the appearance of bags. Mistake 2. The escalation of dermal fillers. Dermal fillers, most often based on hyaluronic acid, are a simple and appealing solution. They replace lost volume and can provide an immediate boost. For someone in their 30s or 40s suffering only from hollowed temples or a loss of cheek projection, they are often very effective. The danger arises after 50 when the same strategy continues to be applied. The myth of the injectable lift. The biggest misunderstanding is the belief that one can lift a sagging face by simply injecting volume. The problem is that sagging is a structural phenomenon related to the downward sliding of the CMS. Tissues are moving down. Mechanical reality. An injected filler is a viscous gel. It adds mass and weight to the tissues. It cannot generate the necessary pulling force to lift a relaxed SMS. On the contrary, by adding weight to already unstable tissues, you accelerate the sagging phenomenon. Imagine a tablecloth sliding off a table. You won't prevent it from falling by adding heavy objects to the edge. You need to secure it at the center and pull it up. Similarly, adding volume to a sagging face only weighs down the area, which will inevitably continue to slide. The pillow face or square jaw effect. The most visible error is the face that becomes too wide or puffy, often called pillow face in specialized literature. Firstly, hyaluronic acid is not completely metabolized by the body in 6 months, as is often claimed. Research and clinical observations, particularly during surgical procedures, show that these products persist for years. Nodules of filler, sometimes encapsulated, are frequently observed. Secondly, fillers are hydrophilic, meaning they attract and retain water. Even small amounts can create persistent swelling or edema. The vicious cycle. An individual returns regularly every year or every 6 months for touch-ups. The previous product has not fully disappeared. Each new syringe adds to the last. The face gradually becomes overcorrected, with excessive volume in the mid-face, cheeks, and jawline. The delicate appearance of youth is lost, replaced by square, heavy contours that no longer match natural anatomy. A youthful face is characterized by a V or heart shape, whereas the over-injected face takes on a U or square shape, which is ironically associated with aging. The jowls. Trying to hide jowls by injecting filler just in front of and behind them is a common mistake. This only thickens the jawline and adds weight, without resolving the cause of the problem, the relaxed SMS. At this stage of life, volume itself is not the main issue, it is the position of the tissues that is critical. Mistake 3, relying on energy devices for structural lifting. Recent decades have seen a proliferation of devices that promise a non-surgical lift using various forms of energy. High-intensity focused ultrasound, HIFU, radiofrequency, and other thermal technologies. The idea is to induce fascial contraction and collagen stimulation by applying heat deep within the tissues. The risk of fat melting and the gaunt effect. However, for these devices to reach the SMS, the energy must pass through the subcutaneous fat layer. Unfortunately, adipose tissue is extremely sensitive to heat. Clinical observation. A growing number of clinical reports and patient testimonials describe a paradoxical result. Instead of tighter skin, the face appears more hollowed, emaciated, or gaunt. Why? Because the energy has melted away a portion of the facial fat. This fat is, however, a fundamental element of youth. It provides the soft curves and fullness of the face. The loss of this fat due to thermal treatment is often irreversible and adds a sign of aging that compounds the existing laxity. The depth dilemma. Furthermore, to avoid injuring deeper facial nerves, practitioners often have to set the devices to a depth that prevents them from reaching the SMS with the necessary force. The energy is then primarily delivered into the fat, causing it to melt, but without exerting a significant and lasting tightening effect on the fascia itself. For patients over 50 with moderate to severe sagging, these devices do not offer a durable correction of laxity, but expose them to a real risk of volume loss, which makes the face look even older than it did before the treatment. While they may be useful for younger patients with minimal laxity, they are not the solution for structural rejuvenation after the 50s. Mistake 4. The mirage of thread. Lifts. Thread lifts are the embodiment of a quick, simple solution that unfortunately fails over time and does not resolve the root cause of aging. They periodically return to the forefront of the industry, and clinical experience has consistently led to the same conclusion. Their effectiveness is extremely limited. The principle is to insert threads equipped with small barbs or cogs under the skin to grip the tissues and pull them upward. Mechanical failure. The weight of the entire facial complex, skin, fat, SMS, is far too heavy to be sustainably supported by a few fine threads, even if they are anchored. The threads do not create a structural lift. They create a temporary bunching or pleating effect of the superficial tissue. Under the constant pressure of gravity and facial movements, the tissues eventually disengage from the barbs and the sagging returns within a few months. Studies indicate that the visible benefit typically fades between 3 and 6 months, an extremely high cost for such an ephemeral result. Complications. In addition to their poor durability, threads are associated with common complications. The appearance of dimples or depressions on the skin surface is frequent because the thread has snagged the skin unevenly. They can also become visible or palpable under the skin. And the most insidious risk is the creation of scar tissue and fibrosis, which can make a future effective surgical intervention more complex, less predictable, and more difficult for the surgeon to perform. Thread lifts are simply not the appropriate tool for correcting the moderate to severe laxity that characterizes the face after 50. It is a cost without a long-term benefit. Mistake 5. The piecemeal surgical approach. Once it is accepted that structural laxity requires structural correction, and thus surgery, the final mistake is to address the issue piece by piece. This fragmented or partial approach is a major source of disappointment and unnatural results. The principle of facial harmony. The face ages as a whole unit. When you were younger, all elements, skin, volume, brows, eyelids, jawline, neck, were in harmony and looked young together. When you age, they age together, and this consistent, albeit older look is perceived as normal by the human eye. The unnatural result, the one that is immediately recognized as having had work done, is created when there is a disconnect between the different aesthetic units of the face. The neck lift example. One of the most frequent requests is a neck lift alone. Clinical experience shows that this is often ineffective in the long run. As mentioned, the platysma muscle in the neck is a continuation of the facial SMS. It is pulled down by the sagging of the face itself. If you correct only the neck without lifting the entire SMS structure of the cheek and jawline above it, the neck will quickly droop again because the gravitational force exerted by the loose facial tissues will take over. Furthermore, having a very tight neck with a visibly sagging jowl is an inelegant and contradictory look. The eyelid disconnect. Similarly, performing a blepharoplasty, eyelid surgery alone, is often a mistake in older patients. Smooth, clear eyelids, the young look, above a very loose jawline and neck, the old look, create a disconnect that never occurs naturally. The solution: the comprehensive, deep plane approach. The only way to achieve harmonious, durable, and natural-looking rejuvenation, the kind that makes people think the individual has simply aged exceptionally well, is through a comprehensive approach. This approach must integrate the correction of sagging across the entire vertical vector of the face. This is the philosophy underpinning advanced techniques like the vertical deep plane approach, where the surgeon does not just lift the skin, but works directly on the SMAS. By lifting the SMAS and the deep tissues upward, a durable and natural correction is achieved for the lateral brow, which is elevated, the mid-face, which is repositioned, correcting the deep nasolabial folds, the jawline, which is redefined, eliminating the jowls, the neck, which is tightened as its facial support is restored. This correction of the foundation is always complemented by volume restoration, often via autologous fat transfer, as the body does not reject it, and it is more durable than temporary fillers for restoring the hollows of the temples or cheeks and treatment of the skin texture. The importance of skin treatment. A lift is incomplete if the quality of the skin is not addressed. Fine lines, pigmentation issues, and texture must be corrected through skin treatments, peels, lasers, or appropriate skincare protocols for the result to be complete and coherent. It is the combination of shape correction, surgery, and surface improvement, skin treatment, that delivers the dramatic yet entirely natural outcome. The ultimate goal of this comprehensive approach is liberation. A single, complete, and successful intervention frees you from the constant cycle of touch-ups, trial and error, and wasteful spending that characterizes the first 4 mistakes. You can then forget the relentless pursuit and simply enjoy the confidence of a face that genuinely reflects your inner vitality. Summary and final thoughts. We have established that aging after 50 is characterized by structural laxity, not primarily by simple volume loss. Consequently, Botox must be used sparingly in the forehead and crow's feet to avoid weighing down the eyes. Dermal fillers do not correct laxity and can weigh down the face, creating a heavy, puffy look. Energy devices risk melting away valuable facial fat without providing a durable structural lift. Thread lifts are only a temporary, costly, and ineffective solution against true sagging. The surgical approach must be comprehensive and deep, simultaneously treating all aesthetic units, brows, mid-face, jawline, neck, volume, and skin to ensure harmony and durability. The solution for natural, long-term rejuvenation lies in an honest assessment and a comprehensive strategy that targets the root cause of the problem. I sincerely hope this detailed analysis has given you the keys to navigate this complex field with greater clarity. Your time and trust deserve a strategy that genuinely works. If you found this video enriching and it helped you demystify certain common misconceptions, the best way to let us know is to hit the like button. It helps us immensely. And if this approach resonates with your own experience, or if you have specific questions, please share them in the comments below. Your contribution enriches the discussion for our entire community. Finally, if you wish to continue receiving such candid and detailed information on wellness and rejuvenation, I invite you to subscribe to the channel. Take good care of yourself and see you very soon for a new, insightful perspective.